How's it going? It's Nick. Today we're going to be talking about the biggest thing in government contracting, and that's outbound sales. To win government contracts, you have to be aggressive. You have to enjoy the outbound sales process, and even if you don't enjoy it, you got to do it. So today we're going to be covering the 8 ways that you can engage in outbound sales with the government. So let's hop in. If you're new to our videos, make sure you hit a like and subscribe. We're going to be dropping free tutorials that are going to teach you exactly what you need to do to win government contracts every day. And of course, if you have any questions, hit my email or feel free to leave a comment below. Now, the first step to outbound sales with the government is strictly just understanding who's buying what you sell. Everything in the government is public information. This is thankful to our tax dollars that go to the government that requires them to publicate any contracts that aren't unclassified. So this allows us to use websites like SAM.gov, federal and state portals, USA Spending, and a few other websites that we can use to gather all the information that we need on government contracts. So we got to identify exactly who's buying what you do, when they're buying what you do, and what incumbent contractors are currently winning those contracts. And once you understand your marketplace, selling to the government becomes a lot easier because you know all the players involved. Now, you may ask, exactly how do I find who's buying what I sell? That's going to be on USAspending.gov. USAspending.gov tracks all the federal spending in the country, and this is going to allow you to get all the information you need to understand and sell to your marketplace. So what you want to do is go to USAspending.gov, and to the left, there's going to be a bunch of search criteria where you can plug in keywords, NAICS codes, geographical focuses, set aside, types of contracts, amount awards, different type of awards. It's going to give you everything you need to create your own business's funnel to filter out the contracts and match exactly what you do. Now, number 3 is pretty simple. All contracts are not made equal. You're going to have up and coming contracts, active open solicitations. But something that always gets left behind is expiring contracts, especially if you offer anything that requires like maintenance or a continuation service like IT, cybersecurity, construction, staffing, a lot of things that aren't going to go away once the contract ends. So this is a clear indicator that when you see a contract that's coming up for expiration, that we want to go after that contract. We want to research who the contractor was that won it. We want to identify the agency that is awarding that contract. And we want to reach out to both parties depending on what the data is telling us. Now, if it's a company that, for example, is a Lockheed Martin, somebody that is doing hundreds, if not billions of dollars to the government, typically you want to reach out to the incumbent. Now, if it's a smaller contract, let's say a $350,000 or a $550,000 small business set aside, that would be something that you could look at as a direct competitor. And we can identify that contract is expiring. You can even take it a step further and do what's called a FOIA request, which stands for Freedom of Information Act, which is a legal requirement that we can request the winning bid that was submitted. So imagine, not only do you see a contract is coming up for expiration, but then we can actually get the initial bid that was submitted and all the information on the contractor that won it. This will give you an ideal game plan that you can use when reaching out to that contracting officer. Now, when we're finding the people are going to be more than contracting officers. Contracting officers are just one piece of a contract. You're also going to have the small business specialists, what they call the OSDBUs, where these are agency specialists that are directly designed to work with small businesses. You're also going to have the end user. So think of a contracting officer as like the middleman on a contract. You're going to have the business, and then you're going to have the end user, some program manager at that agency who's actually needing the technical details from this contract to make sure it fits what they're looking for. Where the contracting officer is just relaying information to the end user and relaying the information to the company that is bidding on the contract. So it's not only about appeasing the government, it's about appeasing the people inside of the government that are working directly on this contract instead of just approving the contract. And a lot of this research is going to come through using these different platforms that are all free. All federal websites are free to use. They do not cost any money. It just takes a lot of time to research this information. So the quicker you are building a contracting list of expiring contracts, the people involved in each of these contracts, and getting as much information on the contractors that are winning them, the easier it is to go after them. Now, I love number 6 because it's probably the most crucial out of these 8 topics here. And that is exactly what you do when you get the contact information. We are definitely going to reach out, but when we're reaching out, let's not blow all of our hard work by sending out a basic email. Let's not say something like, hey, I'm Sam registered and I'd like to work with your agency. What we need to do is reach out with reference points, direct contracts, direct information that directly pertains to exactly that contract or that agency's needs. So, again, this is where the research comes in. You do not want to just blind bid. You also don't want to blind email. Let's make sure that we are directly targeting something very specific in that agency and have a direct call to action on what we can solve when we reach out to that government buyer. And same thing with the prime contractor. So make sure you understand the rules of what a company that is a small business qualifies for when working with a large contractor. If you are a construction business, any contracts over 1.5 million that are performed by a large contractor require small business participation. And if you're not a construction company, any contracts that are over 750,000 will require small business participation if it is done through a large company. So it's very important to understand these rules when you're selling not only to the government, but to the primes as well, to understand how to position yourself. Now, number 7 is also crucial, and this is what happens once the door has been opened. Now we're communicating with the government buyer. Now we're communicating with the prime, and we need to ask the right questions. So let's not just say, hey, is there any contracts out there that fit what I do? Let's have direct questions. Hey, is there any up and coming recompete contracts that I could go after? Is there any sources sought that I should be monitoring that are fitting for my services? How are you guys procuring these contracts? What vehicles are you using? What is the acquisition process? Let's ask questions that help us get prepared for future contracts. Because what you don't want to do is get all the way to the point where we're communicating with the government and it fails stiff. They need businesses that understand the game. So the better that you are at understanding the game and can fix the problems that they already have, the easier it's going to be to win contracts and the more insight you'll get on contracts. And once you do this enough, you will be able to predict what the government is and how they're going to operate without even communicating with them. And that's what you see with companies that are making high 7 figures, 8 figures, and some even 9 and 10 figures in the government. It's all possible with the right strategy. So once we do all the hard work to get there, let's make sure that we have a game plan once we are communicating with these government buyers and prime contractors. Now, sources sought, number 8, right? And the cool thing about sources sought is it's really a production of all the hard work that you do. So a sources sought contract is essentially like a market research contract. This is where the government is going to post what they call a sources sought, which is where they're requesting information about a specific bid or about a specific service that they need done. So the best thing that you can do is when you're building these relationships and you're communicating with the government, we can identify their needs and they will create sources sauce based off of our solution. And when these sources sauce come out, we respond to them with the solution that we've already communicated to them about, which then they can create a solicitation for, which when the solicitation is created, when they're created from a source sought, a lot of them are just based off direct information that they've received from vendors. So these contracts, while they seem like it's just an open solicitation, a lot of the time sources sought that lead to a solicitation are technically going to be contracts that were really created based off of a company's criteria, deliverables, pricing, etc. So these are where you really can get in and almost guarantee yourself contracts when you follow this process. From reaching out to the government buyer, to establishing a relationship, to knowing what to say and what to do to help, to them creating a contract that matches that, to then you winning that contract. And this is all a part of outbound sales. So do not blind bid. Let's not wait for the government to come and knock on our door. The best part about the government is it's public information. And I stress this on every video that I do. Use the public information and be aggressive. Nobody benefits off of not knowing what you do, and there is no penalty to missing a shot in this game. You can go 0 for 30 and you could win on 31 and nobody would know a thing. And it's mostly up to you to determine your success. Thank you guys for another video. Again, if you have any comments, questions, feel free to leave them below. Make sure you hit that like and subscribe. And we're working on something pretty cool for you guys right now, where we're going to be creating a whole entire online university for companies that are trying to win government contracts. So details on that soon. And until next time, take care.